Well, right after the Transformers 1027 event was over with Hasbro Pulse, Takara-Tomy said, "Hey, hold my beer. We got something here." Or in this case, I guess, hold my sake. Man, oh man, this came out of nowhere. We have a brand new Transformers toy line and anime coming from Japan. Probably going to be Japanese exclusive initially in Transforma Wildo Kingu, or Transformers Wild King. At least that's the Japanese name for the time being. Wild King is a portmanteau or a play on Wild Docking King. The docking, the combining, the wild part being beasts, the king being king of the jungle or kingdom. Yeah, so all of these items are set to release April 2025, except for one or two of them. We'll get into that in a moment. And they have big plans. This is all comes courtesy of an early pre-order image that has been floating around. Keep in mind, this is just early images, very blurry and stuff, but it does give you a good idea of what's going on, prices, characters, and everything like that. And before that April 2025 release of the toys, they're going to have a brand new anime series that'll be debuting on YouTube via Takara-Tomy's YouTube channel. Now, keep in mind, Takara-Tomy's YouTube channel has a bevy of like 10 to 12 minute short episode animations of a lot of their other products. And it's very possible that this probably will go alongside in that kind of manner, but we'll get more deeper into that in a moment. So let's first talk about the toys. So we got some big items, we got some small items, and we got some gift packs, which are kind of a combination of those big items and small items. The big items are the Energy Masters, the small items are the Energy Beasts, and those are the two major price points that exist outside of those gift sets. So first we have the Energy Masters, based off of pre-existing Transformer characters. Obviously, we're starting with the leaders here with these Energy Masters. The Takara-Tomy system obviously has numbering, so we're going to also stick with that. WKM-01 Energy Master, Optimus Primu. Optimus Prime, it's a Optimus Prime figure. Transforms into a flat-nosed truck. Has an axe for a weapon. Hitting all those cues. The body and transformation kind of gives me a little bit of an Energon Superlink kind of vibe to him. No doubt due to how the Transformer gimmick is going to roll out with him, which we'll get into. But also kind of has a bit of a Superlink Energon Inferno look to him a little bit. I wonder who worked on the designs for these. It also has a combined mode, but we'll talk about that more when we get into the gift sets. But otherwise, this is just the standalone figure, transforms from one thing to another, and has an Energon axe weapon. And then we have WKM-02 Energy Master Megatron. Transforms into a tank. Has an arm cannon weapon, which oddly enough on one end of it has what looks like a spark extractor on the end. And again, has that blocked out kind of shape for him in robot mode, clearly to be used for a combining gimmick, which we'll talk about in a moment. These two Energy Masters of this price point sell each for 4,750 yen, which translates, as of this recording, to about 31 USD. But again, keep in mind, Japan actually overpays for a lot of their Transformer toys when you do conversion. So I would not be surprised if this is something that's maybe $25 or a little bit more than that when it's if it's localized here. So right now, if you imported it, it would probably cost you $31 USD per figure in the Energy Master price point. Next up, we have the Energy Beast price point, which all of these, from what it looks like, have some kind of elemental or energy theme to them. So we'll try to kind of figure that out. None of this is confirmed. This is just me trying to make sense of the theme that they're going with this. So each one of these are a beast that transforms into a robot and also has some kind of extra, I guess, third transformation, which we'll get into in a moment. We have WKB-01 Energy Beast Raitol, which transforms into a giraffe that looks a hell of a lot like Beast Wars Neo's Long Rack. Like, even the robot mode, everything, it's clearly on purpose they've done that. I don't know what the energy or elemental theme is with this one, but the other ones are a lot more clear. We got WKB02 Energy Beast Hydrophant, an elephant. Clearly the Hydrophant, it's a water shooting elephant perhaps, so water will be his element. WKB03 Energy Beast Captain Volca, which is a T-Rex. Volca probably short for volcano, so a T-Rex that spits fire out of his mouth, so fire is his element. WKB04 Energy Beast Rifubaku, which again, if you kind of simplify that for English, it's probably leafback, and he's a Triceratops, so I guess a wind element or plants or nature, perhaps. WKB05 Energy Beast Ignitobito, Ignite Bite, kind of like that name, which transforms into a wolf, so Ignite, electric wolf, perhaps? I don't know, we will see. And then we have WKB06 Energy Beast Spiritoran, which is a Spinosaurus Rex, Spiritu, maybe spirit, maybe, I don't know, ghosts, I don't know, like what's his energy theme or whatever. And he looks like he's actually a retool of the Captain Volca, the T-Rex, so they kind of share tooling there between the two of them. So each of these energy beasts are going to sell for 2,750 yen, which translates to about 18 USD. But again, keep in mind with those Japanese retail prices and how that kind of is different than what we're used to paying. So the last two that we got here are gift sets. And these take one of our Energy Masters, in the case of Optimus or Megatron, but also pairs it off with one of the Energy Beasts that we've just showcased before to also show how this has a combining gimmick to go with it. So the first one we have here is WKS for set 01 Optimus Prime and Rytal, which is we get the Energy Master Optimus Prime with the Energy Beast Rytal, aka our long rack looking beast giraffe figure. And it shows how Rytal, aside from having his beast mode and his robot mode, also has a weapon mode, which is pretty interesting because the original long rack from Beast Wars Neo also, like all those Maximals and their teammates had weapon modes, so it's kind of like a little bit of a throwback to that too. And this weapon mode could attach to Optimus Prime, and also little extra pieces could attach to Optimus Prime's chest and stuff to make a combiner mode. And you notice he has a different combiner head there and everything, so extra elements to make a different finished look here with this Rytal figure. And then the other set here, which is the WKS02 Megatron with Captain Volca, the Volcano T-Rex. So you get the Energy Master Megatron along with that T-Rex Captain Volca, and it also showcases that Captain Volca, on top of his beast mode and his robot mode, could also make some kind of pieces and parts that make a weapon that attaches to the Megatron, attaches to his chest and his arm in there. And also the combiner head for this one, this super mode head, looks like it has two horns that are very reminiscent of an Armada Megatron. So very interesting choice of aesthetic there with that one. Each one of these gift sets sell each for 7,700 yen, which is about 50 bucks, which when you break it down is pretty much the same price if you bought these separately, more or less. So chances are, because there is no savings, there is a strong possibility that these two packs might have unique decos to them, and that gives them a reason to kind of just be the same price, because for completists, they'll want to buy the two packs and the individuals. That's just a guess, but it is kind of weird how the two pack is exactly pretty much the same price as if you bought them individually. So very weird. Also worth noting, it's kind of hard to see, but in the top left of this catalog pre-order scan image, we could see an Optimus Prime that makes up with arms and legs of the Energy Beasts, which is very reminiscent of Energon Optimus Prime or Superlink Grand Convoy. So I think there's going to be even deeper combiner element going on here with all these figures, but time will tell when we get more official images of this guy. And like we said before, all of these products are going to be hitting Japan's retail April 2025, except the last two of the Energy Beasts, the WKB05 Ignite Bite and the Spirutan, the Spinosaurus. They will be coming out in May of 2025. Now, the last thing we want to just roll back to, let's talk about that new anime for a second, which sounds exciting, but I do want to play a devil's advocate with this for a moment. If this is featured on Takara-Tomy's YouTube channel, there's a very strong chance that this will be probably a 10 to 12 minute episode kind of thing, which sadly, if any of the other stuff on that channel is any indication of how it's done, will probably just be 10-minute toy commercials featuring how the gimmicks work with these toys, rather than fleshing out a deep story and character development and stuff like that. Best case scenario, and this is a pipe dream, but best case scenario, we get full 21, 22-minute episodes with story and characters fleshed out over a 13-episode OVA style kind of thing. That's best case scenario. Mid case scenario, we get something like Transformers Go, also a Japanese exclusive toy line and TV series in the modern era that was a 10 to 12 minute kind of style of storytelling. In this case, it was done over 10 episodes, and they were actually able to get a little bit of story and character development across with that. Worst case scenario, it's something like what they're doing right now with the Tomika Heroes Job Labor line on the Takara-Tomy YouTube channel, which are 10-minute CG commercials, which are fine. They're okay. There's a little bit of story there, but they really are just 10-minute toy commercials to show all the gimmicks and transformations and combining. And there's really not much of a deep story going on there. And again, we kind of expect more for our Transformers in a lot of ways. So we'll see how it goes. And I mean, I kind of hope they go the Transformer Go treatment, because that was probably the best way to do short form content. But granted, Transformers Go was distributed very differently than the world that we live in today. Transformers Go came out in 2013. And those were 10 to 12 minute episodes, like I said, that were distributed via DVD pack-ins with TV Coon magazine between 2013 and 2014. And keep in mind, like, 2013 was just when Netflix was starting to think about doing original content, and YouTube didn't even see itself as a, quote, streaming service back then. So DVD pack-ins were the way to get that media out. So I'm very curious how Takara is going to tackle this and put this out on their channels and to promote and do everything like that. Again, I'm optimistic. I like it when Takara-Tomy makes original Transformers series stuff. It's very toyetic in elements, and I hope that at least there's some kind of story to tell there. I hope we get a full story and not just something similar to like Robot Masters or, dare I say, to a mild extent, Transformers Go. That's kind of limited in its animated fiction nature. I would just love to see, honestly, Japan go full force again with Transformers and do something that's just, while it might be aimed at a younger demographic, is just solely their own creation and their own vision, as opposed to what's being done in the West right now. Anyhow, let me know what you think about all of this. I mean, it's pretty wild, no pun intended, and I hope we do see more of it. I know I'm interested, especially when it's anything new that's Transformers anime, big or small. It always catches my attention, and it has been a rough past 2 years of Transformers TV and streaming content that's been very lowly recepted by the general audience. Maybe fans are enjoying this and that, but in general, it really hasn't, shook up anything for Transformers in terms of toy sales or in terms of viewership. So we will see what happens with that. Let me know what you think about all of this, and we'll talk again really soon here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And as always, thank you for listening.